this is Jason Gobel here. A big thank you to James David and Dethrone Records for having me on the show here with a question and interview. And a big hello and a big thank you to all the viewers for checking the interview out. So how am I dealing with the pandemic here? I'm here in Miami, Florida, and here it's pretty open. You know, everyone's still wearing masks, everyone's being cautious, some social distancing, but you know, we're not seeing too many people sick. We're not having many problems with people dying. I haven't met anyone, thank God, and my heart goes out to anyone who has. But it hasn't been as bad as they've said on the news, and everyone here is still trying to get out, still trying to live a normal life. So we're just taking it day by day and hoping things get cleared up and we move on from this situation and can get back to a normal lifestyle. I'm always listening to different styles of music, so it's really hard to pinpoint, you know, one particular band or style that I listen to. But let's say just today I listened to a little bit of a Snarky Puppy. Really like them, big band and just great compositions, great musicians. J.D. Beck and Dami, a couple really young musicians that are just up and coming, are just killing it. And actually, metal-wise, I was listening to the latest Agora album. That's a smoking one. And as far as any hobbies on the during the pandemic here, you know, I took a long break from playing guitar, man. That's what I've been doing. That's a hobby that's come back. Playing guitar, making music. It's been wonderful. It feels great. I think I needed a break. There was a lot going on in my life that kind of dictated that, and now it's coming back, and that's been my hobby, man. I work and I play guitar, and it's been wonderful. So what am I up to currently musically right now? I've had a few projects going on, small projects. I did a few solos for a few metal bands, three metal bands that'll be coming out soon. So I can give a plug to them: Savage Deity, Bestial Invasion, and Viogression. Thanks, guys, for letting me have the opportunity to play with you. So look for their albums coming up. Another tune that came out, Broken Eggshell Repair Kit. It was a song that was written by Reinert, Timon, and Robin from Cynic, and they gave me the opportunity to play a solo on there, and I'm greatly blessed to have been able to take that opportunity. But check it out, it's absolutely beautiful song, and you know, Sean's last works that we know of, you know, of right now. So check that out. And then the other thing that I'm working on is an album with a few of the guys from Agora, Santiago, Matt, and Alan. We're currently working on kind of a fusion album. Definitely will have its metal elements. It's in our bones and our blood, but it's going to be a fusion album, no vocals, and definitely in a different direction. You know, it'll be a little bit different. I think everyone that has been listening to all of our music, you know, understands that we're into different styles, and I think everyone's going to be able to appreciate it and like this album that we have coming up. So real excited about that. I have one other project coming up right now with a band in LA. I can't say the name. Really excited about that. That's going to be a little different for me, and really cool tune. I'm excited to work on it. So we'll keep you posted on that. But currently, that's what I'm doing musically. I think the Cynic sound just kind of evolved itself. You know, by the time we were getting ready to record Focus, we were already getting into jazz and fusion and different styles of music. So I think those influences all kicked in. So the sound just kind of evolved out of things that we were influenced by and things that we were trying to experiment with musically. And you heard a big change from the demos to the final album, and I think a lot of that is we had a little time in between because of Hurricane Andrew. But then we did also get involved in going to college and starting to study music and playing jazz, which opened up a bunch of different chords and different tonalities and different things. And I think that just in itself kind of gave us our own sound. Was it intentional? Sure. I mean, everyone wants to have their own sound, but it wasn't intentional. We didn't come up with that sound. It just kind of evolved from our influences. Not at all, but death metal was big in the 90s. We were part of the Florida death metal scene, but if you really pay attention to where those bands came from, was out of the Orlando, Tampa area is where your real death metal bands came from. We were about 4 hours away in South Miami, here in Miami, Florida. And it's a whole different game here, I mean, half the band is Hispanic to begin with. I'm half Hispanic, and Paul and Tony, of course. So, we had a lot of different styles of influence just from being in a very international city and an international culture. So I think that influenced us musically, and also the distance between all those other death metal bands. We did have some influence. We were into the metal scene, we were into the death metal scene, but we did have so many other things around us and so many other styles and influences around us that I don't think we could have helped but sounding different just from our background and where we were coming from. So was it intentional? Not really, but could we help it? Not really either. The rehearsal space we had was a warehouse that we got in South Florida, like any other warehouse. We paid rent, and we were there for quite a few years. We built a stage in there. We actually went and we would run to construction sites. We would go behind grocery stores. We got a bunch of milk cartons and pallets and plywood and thrown away carpet, and we built a drum riser and a stage and put carpet on there, and we had our own little MIDI stage, had everything set up on there. And eventually, when we saved up enough money, we built a loft and we put in a shower and a kitchen. Very basic little hot plate and microwave, but we had a fridge and a shower and everything, and it became our home. That's where we created all the music. That's where we constructed all the music at least, and formed the songs. Some great memories there. Sean lived there for a while. Santiago from Agora ended up taking over the space when we ended up moving on. I think Paul and Sean went to LA and all that. So great memories, great warehouse. A lot of good things came out of there. Now, Focus. Another great experience, Morrisound, working with Scott Burns. Who could ask for more than that, especially at that time. He had the ear for the music and he was amazing. He was pivotal in making the Focus album what it is today, Studio was wonderful. I mean, the technology was there. It was a great experience for us. It was a bit of a time crunch. You're always on a time crunch when you're contractually tied and you only have a budget to work with, but huge learning experience, wonderful experience, great memories. And I know I've said it before, and it's getting closer. I've been talking to people and trying to get it figured out. It is a big project, but I would love to take some video that I have and make a documentary on the making of Focus. So hopefully in the near future I can make that happen, and I'll be able to share a lot more of that experience that I'm talking about with you. Said it before in other interviews, I had young parents. My mom was into music, so there was always music on around the house. So I was always fascinated with music. And long story short, my brother started playing bass a little bit before me. That also inspired me. So eventually my grandfather bought me a guitar. I was about 8 years old. They got me one lesson. I got a lesson with a guitar teacher. He came by the house, showed me a few open chords at the end of the neck. He showed me a major and a blues scale, and the 2-jobber bar chord, and hand positioning. That was about it. And from there, I was self-taught. You know, I just listened to music and I would just figure it out. I would listen for those tones and try and break down the chords and figure out the music until junior high. Junior high, I got into a guitar class. Mr. Hudson, love you guy. He was a great influence. I was already a little advanced for the class was a problem, so it was challenging really for me to learn, but it was also a big part of just inspiring me to play music, and I just had time to play music every day in school too, which was wonderful. And from then on, I again just learned by ear until college. And I started college, Miami-Dade Community College. Me, Sean, and Paul went and signed up just for an associate's in music and jazz. And I took a bunch of courses there, sucked at most of them, was horrible at the theory. Ear training I was good because of my, you know, my natural learning style, but was horrible at sight reading and the theory and all that. But I had a wonderful guitar teacher, Dave Weisbrow. He was the jazz guitar teacher, and he just opened up all kinds of different avenues for me and different approaches to music, and he was pivotal. And he was right there when we were we were doing the Focus album, when I did the Monstrosity album, for example. So he was a great guy to have around, and we could bounce some ideas off, and he could come at us from a different perspective, you know, from a completely different musical perspective. But besides that, you know, gosh, we went to college for a year and a half, got signed to Roadrunner, and that was it. We were off touring, and that was the extent of my musical training. So most of it was by ear. Most of it was by ear. I have taken a few lessons here or there. Still learning and picking up stuff. You know, I'm jamming now with Santiago from Agora. The guy's just musically brilliant, so I learn every day when I play with him. So we're always students to music. It never stops, you know, it never stops on our instrument. There's always more to learn and do, so I'm still learning, but that's basically how I got where I am now. Story behind that, I was traveling through Southeast Asia, and James and Yarden reached out to me, a couple wonderful friends now from the Philippines, and were wondering if I was heading to the Philippines on my travels. And I told them, yeah, it's definitely one of the places on my list. And they said, well, you know, if you want to come now, you know, we'd love to meet you, show you around, and we'd also like to do a little event in your honor. And they had planned an event for me, and basically set up, had a bunch of bands come in, and they honor me by playing some of my music. They played Cynic tunes, they played Monstrosity tunes, they played Portal tunes, and it was an incredible event. There's no other honor, you know, people loving something that you do and loving your music, much less inviting you to their country and honoring you by playing your music. So I was absolutely humbled, absolutely blown away. The Philippine culture, just amazing people, you know, amazing musician, just hardcore metal fans for sure, man. But I had a wonderful experience there. I ended up making friends with these guys and many other people, and they became like family. We traveled together. I met my love over there, Kaira, love you girl. And it was just an amazing experience, an amazing honor that was held for me, and I can't say thank you enough, guys, and love everybody in the Philippines, and can't wait to get back there and spend some more time with you and see some more of that beautiful country. Thank you so much. Thank you, James. Thank you, Dethrone Records, for letting me have the opportunity to be interviewed. Huge thank you to all the viewers for checking out this interview, for supporting me and my music over the years. Taking a break, but I'm back, man. We're gonna have some fun stuff coming out. Keep an eye out for some of the upcoming projects. I'll be posting it on social media, just Jason Gobel or Jason Gobel Musician. I wish I could give you a name of the upcoming project I have going on with the Agora Boys, but we haven't named the project yet. But we'll be keeping everything posted and everything online, so you guys know when everything's coming out. A huge thank you and a big props up for Dogtown pups here. If you guys want some pickups or need some screaming pups for your guitar, man, these are the ones. Try them out, you'll love them. Besides that, again, thank you for having me on. It was a wonderful time sharing some of my experience with you, and we'll see you on the next run.